So I made this decision back in February to go more video, to start really kind of stepping up our game in the video world. And met Gabe through one of my other millennials that I have on the team. And he was showing me his videos. And once I saw what he was able to do, we sat down and kind of came up with a game plan. And I was like, okay, we got to get you on the team. And so Gabe is going to film the entire presentation. Now, what does that mean for you? Well, the beauty of that means we're going to have this entire thing on YouTube. So you'll get to go back and watch the whole thing. So if there's anything that you missed, I'm also at one point going to be able to give you my slides. So if you're like, lately I've had a lot of people, like they take pictures and they want to remember. And I said, you know what if I just gave you the slides? Will that help? And they all say the same thing, please give me the slides. Now, you know how that works. You actually got to go look at them if I give them to you. Yeah. Right? So just raise your right hand. Say, I promise, if I ask for slides, I'll look at them. Okay, you promised. All right. So for today, while I'm here with you today, I really want to dive in. One of the things that we talked about is I built a boot camp. I kind of put together a boot camp. Now, is anybody military, prior military, anybody that was in the military? Raise your hand. Hi, I want to know. Thank you for your service. Boot camp, you remember going through boot camp? This will be nothing like that. Let me just start with that right there, all right? I remember my dad telling me about boot camp and going through basic training, and they were still doing the tear gas. You remember this? And he's telling me, and I'm okay, there will be no tear gas today, all right? None. But there will be points where you feel a little overwhelmed. And so just for us today, if at any point you feel overwhelmed, just do me this favor. You raise your hand and say, I'm feeling a little tear gas. All right? It's a little overwhelming. Can you explain that a little bit more? Because what I would like for us is as we kind of go through this and then the next part of my class, I would like for you to kind of walk away with this feeling really good that, you know what, I can do what he's talking about, right? I can implement some of these strategies. Now, typically when you have someone come and talk about social media, there's a lot of like, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this. There's a lot of stuff that they kind of throw out at you. All I'm asking is that you just say, pick one or two ideas that you can implement and just try that. Does everybody remember when we did Instagram outside last time? Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I leave here after that, and we literally created monsters, didn't we, Tony? Yeah. We created Instagram, just absolute diehard. And this brokerage, y'all realize y'all completely dominate Instagram in Kerrville. Y'all know that, right? Like y'all dominate it. Like it's not even like close. If you do anything in Kerrville, you're going to see all of your agents doing everything. So I love that you were able to take something and implement it. So that's really good. So you guys know who I am. My name is Tomas. My phone is not connecting, so I'm going to have to do this a little manually here. But this is my wife and I. We had an amazing experience with my wife. She got to run for La Reina Linda, and she won. And she was one of, this is like a fiesta, big deal, riding on floats and doing the parades all during fiesta. And this was her crown. And this is my son, Enzo. And my son is 9, going on 19. For those of you who have a 9-year-old, you know what I'm talking about, right? And I show this to you because really, when I get up and I speak, I mean, this is why, right? Like I really enjoy my job. I really enjoy what I do. But at the end of the day, if y'all hate me, he really likes me, right? And my wife really likes me sometimes, right? Like, so I'm still good. Either way, I've got a big why. And I just want to thank Tony and your team. Because what did I tell you, Gabe, on the way here? You are going to love this group. I love teaching your team, Tony. You've got an amazing group. You've done an amazing job. The culture. And people use that word a lot. But when you see it, you know it. And I see it with your group. And that is not easy to do, right? Pat, is that easy to do? You know, this is very difficult. starts at the top, right? And for a lot of servant leaders, it could even be that idea of at the bottom, you kind of do it so that you can give it to everybody, right? It's that servant leadership mindset. So I'm honored to be here and just for the opportunity. Thank you. So what are we going to do today? Well, first thing we're going to do is you're going to take a quiz. So you need a piece of paper. All right. I'm going to make sure that we take a quiz and someone's going to grade it. So I need you to get out a piece of paper, right? And we're going to go back to my third grade days as a third grade teacher. All right. So we're going to take a quiz to start out with. Then what we're going to do is we're going to review the 10 ways to step up your social media game, okay? We're going to go through what are the 10 ways, and then last but not least, we're going to set some goals. What are your social media goals, okay? A lot of people say, oh, I want to have this many followers, whatever. Let's talk about it at the end of this presentation. So are you ready for your test? All right, I'm going to put the questions, the first couple questions up here on the board, right here. And here are the first 4 questions. And I'm going to read them and you write an answer. Are you ready? It says, number 1, and hold on, let me just say this. Don't shout out the answer out loud. All right. Number 1, who was Facebook originally made for? Was it A, high school kids, B, college students, C, realtors, or D, cool professors at MIT? Write your answer. Who was Facebook originally designed for? Okay. Number 2, true or false? Linking accounts allows you to post one time on LinkedIn and it shows up automatically on Twitter. True or false? And you can just write a T or an F, right? Number 3, true or false? You now have 180 characters on Twitter, and that's it. And you could put true, false, or I have no idea. No, I'm just kidding. What's Twitter? I love it. All right, number 4. Which social media app does not allow you to post using a desktop computer? Which one of those? Is it A, Twitter, B, Instagram, F, Facebook, or C, Facebook, or D, LinkedIn? Which one of those does not allow you to go on a computer and actually make a post? Okay. And then 2 more questions. Here we go. Now we're going to get hard. Are you ready? What company, later on in part 2 of our session, we're going to talk about LinkedIn, which is my favorite. Okay. What company bought LinkedIn? Was it A, Apple, B, Dell, C, Microsoft, or D, Disney? Which company bought LinkedIn? And it's really, really important, this question. Even if you get it wrong, don't worry, you'll remember it after today. And last but not least, who would here would like to have more followers on Facebook or Instagram, right? Don't we all want more followers? All right, now you got to answer this question. Now think about this. This is really deep, okay? If you want to increase your followers or likes on your page, you should A, like, comment, or share other people's posts and photos. B, rant to your friends about how no one likes your posts. C, spend $1,000 for people in India to like your page and your photos. Or D, send a request to friends week after week asking them / begging them to like your page. Which one should we do? All right, now we're going to trade papers with your partner. I'm just kidding. They were doing it. I love this. Is such a good group. I mean, everybody's in the bags like, here you go. I'm ready. Don't trade. I love it. I love how much we've got such good culture. Everyone was just like, here you go, just grade it. It's all good. And that's great. All right, here we go. First one. So who was Facebook originally made for? College students. Yep. It was originally made, and it was Facebook because it had their face, and that's how, hence, the Facebook became about. It was for college students. True or false, LinkedIn accounts allows you to post one time and it shows up on Twitter, on LinkedIn and go Twitter. True. The answer to that's true. And here's the cool thing. I'm going to show you how to do it later. All right? Number 3, true or false, you now have 180 characters on Twitter. False. That's false. What? 240, 280, somewhere in there. I think it's 280. I'm almost positive it's 280. It's more. It's double. Yeah. So next up, which social media app does not allow you to use a computer? Instagram. Now, does anybody know that there is a workaround? No. There's always a workaround. Hootsuite now allows you to do Instagram on a computer. Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a multi-platform where you could have a bunch of different social media accounts, and then you can be posting and scheduling. It's really, really cool, but you can now do that for Instagram. Number 5, what company bought LinkedIn? Microsoft. Now, here's the bonus question. Does anybody know how much? It was insane. 1.8? Higher.
I was going to say 5.
5? Higher.
8.1.
Higher.
30 million?
26 billion.
I was thinking 1.8 billion.
Yeah. 26 billion. Now, what does that tell you about LinkedIn, everybody? Get on it. Right? If they pay $26 billion for it, we all need to be on LinkedIn. And that's class number 2 today. All right. So last but not least, we all know this. What's this one? A. Number 6 is A. I call it give to get. And we'll talk about that today. You need to give to get. And it's really, really important. So now, what are the 10 ways that we're going to talk about to be successful? But before we get to that, I love this quote by Seth. Does anybody know who Seth Godin is? Yes. Book writer, right? If you want to anything that you can find from Seth Godin, you're really going to love, okay? And here's his quote. In a crowded marketplace, fitting in is a failure. Is real estate crowded? Is everybody's uncle's, cousin's, brother's little nephew a realtor? Yes, right? In a crowded marketplace, fitting in is a failure. In a busy marketplace, not standing out is the same as being invisible. If you don't choose to stand out, you're basically invisible. This is why social media is so important for realtors, because it can allow you to stand out. It can allow you to get exposure to the right people at the right time, at the right moment, if you follow some of these 10 steps. Now, the 10 steps I'm going to give you, they're not all encompassing, but it's a really good kind of top layer level of what is really, really important about social media. Okay? And so what are the 10 ways? Number 1, you got to be consistent. And I'm going to talk about that. It's really, really important with social media. You have to be consistent with social media. Number 2, you have to increase engagement by engaging. Right? And I'll go in a little bit more in depth on that. Number 3, remember, it's okay to be human. And I love this one because David, one of my sales guys in my company, he was like, he goes, I think there are a lot of agents that are afraid to be themselves on social media. They want to be one way here and one way there, but sometimes we just need to be real. And I'll tell you a funny story about that. Number 4, learn why and how to use hashtags. Now, we talked about hashtags last time I was here, right? And we talked about the importance, and I'm going to test you, see if anybody remembered. All right? Number 5, go live. And we'll talk about some of the do's and don'ts with going live, right? There are some do's and don'ts with going live. Number 6, Instagram, know the numbers. I'm going to tell you the latest statistics on Instagram that will blow your mind, that are just absolutely, it blows me away. And it's going to connect to what we discussed last time that I was here a year ago. Okay? Number 7, pictures and videos. Pictures, videos. Really, really important. Number 8, LinkedIn and Twitter, the forgotten ones. We're going to kind of talk about why you really need to spend time in LinkedIn and why you need to spend time in Twitter. And then I'll really touch on, do you need to spend a lot of time on Twitter? Because that's always the question, right? Number 9, linking your social media accounts. Efficiency is critical when you're a real estate agent. Efficiency. And what I mean by that is if you're spending, 45 minutes designing the perfect post, I think you're wasting time. Okay? You're wasting valuable time, when you could be meeting face to face with someone, when you could be having a coffee with someone, right? And so it's really critical that you understand that efficiency is a big, big deal. And then number 10, learn how to use Linktree. This has been one of the biggest, for Gabe and I, we were trying to figure out, because you know how people have in their Instagram bios these little websites, and then you click on it and it has all these different links. Like, we were trying to figure out how to do this. Well, the one company that did it, it stopped working. We couldn't even log on anymore. Well, Linktree has really taken it to a whole nother level. And if there's nothing else you learned today from the 10 ways, that is going to be one thing that you're really going to love, because you can customize it and do some really cool things with it. All right, so the first one, why do we need to be consistent with social media? Why?
Otherwise we forget you.
People forget, right? I shared this story. I remember backing out of my garage. I was an agent. I was a teacher and an agent, and I remember backing out of the garage, and my neighbor had a real estate sign in their yard, and it wasn't mine. You ever have that feeling? When you pull into your neighborhood and one of your neighbors is selling their house and you didn't even know? They didn't even give you the courtesy interview for the listing appointment, right? And the reality is that, listen, posting consistently is critical to make sure you're top of mind, right? Whether it be flyers, whether it be advertisement, whether it be on social media. I always laugh when I go to pages and the last post was April 2017. Now, if you run across a business that has that, what do you think in your mind? Are they in business? Right? Are they actually even doing anything at that point? Social media is important. And then the next question that I get is, hey, Tomas, what about, should I post daily? And what's the answer?
Yes.
Yes. You need to post daily. How many times a day? Twice, 3, 4, literally, how many times can you post, right, to where it's not actually taking time out of what you really need to do to make money? Now, let's separate the two, right? Because Facebook is getting you top of mind, but Facebook and Instagram is not where you're going to sell all your houses. Can we all agree to that, right? It can be what I call the bridge to nowhere. Now stay with me, right? Like the bridge to nowhere. It's this idea that you'll spend all these hours and hours and hours and doing all the social media, but you don't do the real things that actually close deals. What's going to close deals? Face to face, showing houses. Oh my gosh, pick up the phone. Call someone, right? Like actually have like a conversation. Like, so posting daily, yes, it's important. And 2 times a day, fine. 3 times a day, fine. As long as you're posting and you're consistent and you're realizing that this idea of posting is going to come down to, are you actually going to also do what you need to do to make sure you're closing deals? You're broadening your sphere of influence, not just with social media, but by going out and networking. But be consistent. When you're consistent, how many in here work out? Like you're consistently, you like to work out, you like to run, you like to do whatever. When you're consistent, what happens? I look good. I love that. Somebody said something else. What did somebody say back there? Who said that? Who said get results? Okay, I was trying to figure out where I was coming from. Listen, consistency gives you the opportunity to actually get results. What about randomness? Right? What about, well, I'll figure it out when Listen, being intentional as an agent, because here's that word, this is a powerful word for realtors. When you're really intentional, you move from being reactive to proactive. And everybody's had those moments in their life when they've gotten proactive. What happens? Things start happening. I do a mastermind and we do a book. Oh my gosh. If you haven't read this book, I was just in San Antonio. We just wrapped up our last day. It's called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. Who loves this? This is one of my all-time favorites. I've probably read it 6-7 times. I've lost track. But here's the thing. Success is in the sowing, not in the reaping.
What is the name?
15 laws, 15 invaluable laws of growth. But just think about that for a second. The success is found in the sowing. It's in the daily consistency, not in the, we got to close. See, the reaping comes when you sow and when you're consistent. And so consistency on social media and in your daily walk as a realtor is critical. Next up, you got to give to get, okay? You have to give to get. So Gabe and I have started this thing where, and does anybody follow Gary V? Gary Vaynerchuk? Okay, there's like 2 of you. If you haven't, he cusses a lot, just FYI. He likes to say a lot of cuss words. But Gary V has this whole philosophy that he calls it the $1.89 or dollar something strategy, where you basically go and leave comments and like people's posts. And every time that we do that, Gabe will tell you, every time we do this, we'll typically can get anywhere from 7 to 8 new follows just from going and liking other people's stuff and commenting on their pictures. A day. Now, if you got 7 followers a day, every day, just by liking and commenting, right? What's going to happen to your followers on Instagram? They're going to continue to increase, right? And then what happens to your sphere? Starts to grow. It's the same way when you're out at the grocery store. You have your name tag on, right? You walk into the grocery store, I have my name tag on. People know that you're a realtor, right? That you can help them. That builds your sphere. It gets more people. So I love this idea of give to get, because most of us go on social media and we are what I call creepers. Have I told you about these creepers? Trust me, there are a few of you in this room that are creepers. Anybody know what a creeper is, right? A creeper, they like to watch what everybody's doing, but they don't like, comment, or share. Never. Right? Now, I have to admit, I was a creeper for a really long time. And I would show up to the party, and I'd be like, hey, your baby's so cute, oh my gosh. And they're like, you're a creeper. You've never liked, comment, or shared on any of my posts, right? So everybody raise your right hand, say, I promise, I won't be a creeper. I'm going to like, comment, or share. Now, you need to do that all day. Do we need to do that all day? No. Just when you're at a stoplight. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You see, they laughed because they know it's true. So give to get. Get in the habit. Now, I have a class. It's called the 25-minute social media workout. And basically, I kind of break it down almost like a workout schedule, where you take time, 25 minutes, to do what you need to do, to gather materials, to make your post, to like, comment, and share, and you get out and you go start making some money. 25-minute social media workout. Great class, something that we'll probably need to do in the future. I think, we haven't done that one, have we, Tony? No, we haven't. Yeah, that'll be a good one. Yeah. So remember, it's okay to be human. I love this. You are a realtor. Be real. Not a realtor. Right. Yeah, you're a realtor. Now think about this for a second. And everybody, I think all of you can relate. Y'all remember I was a teacher, right? I taught 3rd, 4th grade, right? Now I can remember, I'm going to go back to when I was in elementary. Do you remember when you were in elementary and you were outside of the school and you saw your teacher for the first time? It was almost like an outer body experience. They grocery shop. They actually eat dinner, right? It was like this moment of realization of like, they're actually a real person. Now flip that around. Now go back to what, like for us, sometimes we get a little bit guarded on what we want to put on Facebook. And then people don't really, do they have fun? Like, do they have fun? Are they real, right? Are they a realtor? Are they a real person? So what I want to say with this is understand that you can kind of get really close to that line, maybe where you think you're sharing too much, but it's okay. Why? Because you're showing your clients that you have a life. You're showing your clients that you're a real person. And that's okay. Now, are there people who cross this line? Yes. Right? Me and my husband, we're getting a divorce. The dog is sick. I got to take it to the vet. Like, there's people that cross that line to where literally it's like a country song, right? A really bad country song. But it's like everything they post is negative. So you want to have that line to where you show people glimpses of your life, what I call kind of the rainbows and unicorns, right? You show little bits and pieces, but then you also show some of the realness, some of the real things that you're going on, right? So be real. I love this, and I'm so glad David, he talked to us about putting this into the slide because I think this is important. I really, really think this is important. Does anybody here kind of still have that, like, I'm not real sure how I should share and what I should share personal? Does anybody have that? Yeah? Okay. I'm not the only one. All right, good. And so there's always where you feel comfortable. So get close to that line, but let people know that if you think about this, if you like to hunt, right? Maybe if you like to hunt or you like to, you like to surf. I've got a buddy that really likes to surf. Well, if you start putting pictures like that out, do you think there's going to be other surfers that might see what you're doing and go, I need to talk to him? And now there's a connection point. Or if you like to jog, I'm going to be jogging this weekend in Las Vegas. Please pray for me. The rock and roll marathon is this weekend on Sunday. So it's Sunday night. But whenever I started posting stuff about running, guess what? I had friends. They're like, you run? I'm a runner too. So then we had another connection point. Right? Your dogs. What happens when you put a puppy on Instagram? Anybody ever put a puppy on Instagram? I used to do this just for giggles. I had a Facebook class that I was doing, and I called it the Puppy Challenge. And I said, everybody go find a puppy on anywhere. And I said, put it on Facebook right now and tell everybody you need help naming your new puppy. I said, you'll have more comments, more names, because people love puppies, right? They love pictures. But the idea is sometimes we have that line where we don't want to share what's really going on. So open it up just a little. Now, if you're way out there and you love sharing everything, that's understandable because everybody has their lane. There's a buddy of mine in San Antonio. He's extremely political. And so he has all of that on there. And that's his deal. Hey, if that works for you and you're not worried about losing a client, so he's not worried about that because it's just who he is. Be you, but be real. Next one. Learn why and how to use hashtags. Does anybody remember why? Hashtag why? Yes. Keywords, okay. Keep going. What do you mean by that? Searchable. There it is. Right? Exactly, which is the idea of you can search that keyword with the hashtag, and now your post, when you use this little hashtag, gets curated and queried with everybody else that's used that hashtag. Everybody. You can follow hashtags now too, which is massive, right? And I just did a new update to my Instagram, and the following of hashtags is really important in your city, because if I were you, I would be following what? In your city, Kerrville real estate, right? Kerrville realtor, right? Like, I would be following these key terms to see what is everybody doing. I'm watching you, and I'm liking and engaging, right? Because I want to give to get. But the reason why you want to use a hashtag is because it's going to put your picture and curate it with everybody else that's used that one. Fair enough? So I took my son to a concert, and we went to go see, it's a rap group that is, his name is Andy Mineo and Lecrae. This is Christian rap. It's unbelievable music. I absolutely love it. And my son, thank goodness, he really likes it too, right? So we go to this concert together. While I'm at the concert, I start searching Andy Mineo, because what do I want to know? Is there anybody else in that concert that I know that's there? Right? Andy Mineo, San Antonio, right? And then I started searching locations, because locations are really, really important. I started searching locations, and guess what I found? 3 of my friends were at the concert, and I got to like their pictures and tell them that I was at the concert too. So this hashtag, it's so important. How do we do it? You just do the pound sign. Now I'm going to teach you a trick. And I think I told you this last year, right? Copy paste. Did we talk about that last year? So in your notes section on your phone, you can literally just write out all your hashtags. And you could have an open house hashtag section. You could have a luxury house with a pool hashtag section. You could have out with the family hashtag section. And then literally you go into your notes, you highlight, copy, and you paste it right inside your post. How many of you get into hashtag like, I don't know which one to do, right? You're like typing them, you're like, oh, I don't like that one. Oh, I don't like that one. I don't like. Just copy, paste. Copy, paste your hashtags real quick, get it done, and move on. Remember, efficiency. Social media is a great tool, but this is not the only tool in the tool belt. Right? This is not the only tool in the tool belt. So how to do this, and then when should you do it? Every time. Every post. You mean on Facebook? Yep. What about Instagram? Uh-huh. What about on LinkedIn? Yep. What about on Twitter? That's where hashtag started. Even on Twitter, on every platform, you can now search hashtags. Do it. Use your hashtags every single time. Go live. All right. This was abused. Let's be honest. There were people who started abusing live video. Like y'all, and y'all know, right? Like we were getting notifications like so-and-so's live, so-and-so's live, so-and-so's live. Thank goodness they turned that off, because it got really annoying really quickly, right? But here's the thing about going live. I'm going to show you just in Facebook, you know, the live. Has anybody gone live? Has anybody done that? We got a handful here. Now, how many of you don't like to see yourself on video? Don't lie. Okay, good. All right, okay, good. So here's the deal. If you don't like to see yourself on video, no big deal. Just don't go live, because once it's live, it's actually being broadcast in real time. Then it saves, and then you have the ability to upload it to your as a post, right? Now, if you don't like what you look like, then what I would do is record something in the lighting that you like to where you feel you're most confident, record it, and then upload it. Because live, it's live, right? Like, you can't hide from the camera. You can't hide from it's going to show everything that happens. And here's what I love about going live is people will go live and they're like, all right, I'm going to wait for a few more people to jump on.
I hate that.
It drives me nuts, right? It drives me nuts. It's like, listen, we're not all that important, right? We're just not. I'm not. I might get 2 people to watch me live, right? At the most. So the reality is, unless you're Gary Vee or Grant Cardone, you're not going to have a ton of people watching you live. If you want to do it, here's what I suggest. Number 1, you need to have a compelling title. What is it that you're doing so that people, when they see that you're going live, they see the title. So make sure you have a good title. Once you have your title on there, then what you need to do is you need to decide, once you have your title on there, you need to make this, it's very important, that the camera is either going to be on some sort of gimbal or a selfie stick, or you're going to leave it stationary. This is the worst live video. Hey, I'm at my new listing. Come check this out. It's the worst. Nobody will watch it. Why? Number one, they're going to get motion sickness, right? Because it's just all over the place. And number two, it just doesn't, there's nothing attractive about really weird angles, right? It just doesn't look right. So if you're going to do live, you need to make sure you have a great title, and you need to make sure that your phone is on a what? A selfie stick or some sort of gimbal. Does everybody know what a gimbal is? A gimbal, that's good. It's like a little thing that if you held it and you went like this, it just stays stationary. It literally stays there. And if I go like this, it literally just stays there. They're very inexpensive. I mean, Gabe, you can get these, I don't know, $100. Apple sells them. But the gimbals are really cool because as you're walking through a house, you now get these really cool pans and your camera is perfectly still. And now no one gets sick off your crazy videos, right? And then when you're looking at the camera, you're far enough away so that you're not looking at nose hairs, and just up someone's nose. Because normally it's right there. It's those aren't great videos. We all know that, right? Those aren't great videos. So if we're going to go live, two things to remember. What are they? Have a really good title, right? And a location. Make sure you pick the location wherever you're at. And then you need to make sure that you have some sort of gimbal or selfie stick to make it look really nice. Fair enough? All right, next up, let's talk numbers. Numbers. This is really important, okay? For Instagram, this is just for Instagram, there's 1 billion active monthly users now on Instagram. 1 billion. That's outrageous number, right? Now, this is what really interesting me. Worldwide, 68% of these users are female. Worldwide. This is worldwide. And then when you look at the U.S., if you look at just the U.S., 31% of the women in the U.S. are on Instagram and 24% of men. That's just the U.S. of that number, okay? And then this blew me away. 100 million plus photos per day. Think about that. That's a lot of photos. Lot of photos. And there's 4.2 billion likes per day on Instagram. A lot of people are using this. A lot of people are using Instagram to help them sell. Now, remember what I told you. Is this going to be your one tool in the tool belt to sell all your properties? No. So I have one of my clients. She's been in the magazine, I think 4 years. I sat down. We were kind of talking about renewal, talk about 2019. And we started talking about her Instagram because she has a really, really strong Instagram account. And she said, Tomas, she goes, I got to tell you, I've sold 3 houses before they were ever put in MLS. 3 houses where she just put a picture, just kind of put it out there. She had a buyer for 3 of those properties before it ever actually even went on the market. They were ready to sell, but she was just kind of putting a teaser out there, right? Now, I thought, wow, that's really interesting. Instagram has the ability to create buyers. Why? Well, we have a lot of people on there, and it's so clean. It's so easy to look at. It's so easy to follow, right? Next up, post with location gets 79% more engagement. Now, do y'all know what I mean by location with Instagram? Location?
I got a question.
Yeah.
How do you make your location?
Perfect. So on LinkedIn, I can't, let's see if it'll pop up here. I can demonstrate this if it'll pop up. I'll show you. So, and depending on our Wi-Fi, right? Like our cell signal, because it was, let was a little iffy a minute ago. But when you go into Instagram and you go to make a post, hold on one second. Come on. All right. So if I'm going to go make a post here, and I'm going to show you this on my phone. So on Instagram, if you notice here, I'm gonna post this picture right here, and it just popped up. Everybody see that? So if I go down here and I go to next, if I go to next here, it's gonna say, hey, do you want to edit your photo? Blah blah blah, right? And then I go to next, and then it says add location. You see it underneath the tag people. So if I go to add location, look at what it pulls up. Mo Ranch.
Now, if Mo Ranch wasn't on there, how do you add that?
You type it in, and it usually will do a search and find it. Okay, but remember, why is this so important? Well, let me show you. This is so important that you do location because remember I was at that concert, and I wanted to do a search, and so let's imagine that I come here and I go to places and I type Mo Ranch. I'm doing a search for Mo Ranch. Mo Ranch comes up. Well, look at this. Here are all the posts where somebody put that as a location. So if you're in a particular location, in a particular area, you can literally search that area and see who's there. Now, what if you, because your kid, does anybody's kids go to church camp here? Right? Or have you gone to camp here? Right? So if you were wanting to know, okay, who else goes there to that camp? You can literally flip through here and see who are some of the other family members that go there. And then what do? You could start liking, commenting, and sharing their post just by searching a location. And when you put the location, what does it do? It increases your engagement by 79%. Why is that?
Because people are doing the same thing you just did.
People are doing the exact same thing, and they will search that place. 9 times out of 10, they're going to search that exact place that you were at. So that's how you add, and let me show you again. So if I'm going to do a post, I hit this little button right here. You see that plus button? And then it goes through my pictures, right? And so this was Enzo. I'm going to show you this one. Enzo got to sit in a Lamborghini. Is that the Lamborghini? No, I don't think that's the Lamborghini. I think it's something else. But he got to sit in a really cool car, right? So now if I go to next, and then I can change and edit the photo. If I go to next again, now I can literally tag people. I can tag the location where we were at. We were in Bernie. We're at Main Street, Bernie. I can tag exactly where we were at. And then, look, I can share this. If I want to, I can share this to Twitter. I can share this to Facebook. All from here. Okay? So that's how you do location. Is location important? Well, what we've learned is that it will increase your engagement by 79% just by putting location. Now, has anybody been already doing that? I think you do that all the time pretty much, right? Y'all do location pretty much all the time. So I will tell you once I started doing it, because of course Gabe and David, my poster child millennials in my office, David came in one day and he's like, hey, you got to put your location where you're at when you take these photos. And I was like, well, why? He explained it to me. Oh, that makes sense. Then I got the research to back it up. And I was like, all right, now I get it. Now I totally get it. All right, so let's continue here. So we know that the numbers, we want to be doing location. Also know that posts with at least one hashtag. How many hashtags? At least one get 12.6 more engagement. Just one hashtag. That's it. Now, what if you have 3 or 4 really good hashtags? That can increase your engagement as well. So really important that you use those hashtags and you use locations. Now, this is really self-explanatory. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but understand, I think your brokerage does a great job with this, that's the idea that you need good photos to sell houses. Photos sell houses. I don't care how descriptive your words are. None of us are that good of writers in here. We're just not. Words don't sell houses. Pictures sell houses. And so you've got to have great photography, professional photography, because you want to give them maximum exposure. Now, when you go to a listing appointment, does anybody talk about their social media, what they do? No. I would, right? In this day and age, your younger buyers that you're starting to see, your younger sellers, one of the first things they're going to want to know is like, well, do you use social media? Right? Are you on social media? And so I would go in there with some of the statistics like, hey, let me show you a few of my open houses and what I've done. Let me show you a few of my posts and the kind of engagement that I get, right? You definitely want to maximize this and use this in your listing presentation. You need to talk about social media. You think your number of followers and fans is important? It could be. Right? To certain buyers, it may be the one, they may look at it and go, you know what, I'm going to go with you. You have more. They may, now, is that always going to be the case? No. But you definitely want to make sure you have really good picture, really good video. Now, video, we've all learned recently that everybody's saying video is king, got to have more video, right? Here's the thing. Long video doesn't work. Okay? Really, really long videos don't work in terms of trying to get engagement. Unless you're, again, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, like you're like Jordan Peterson, the author, and you're doing like these lectures. For us, 1 minute to 1:30 is about the max that you want to do for a video. And if you can get it under a minute, even better. Long video is really tough to get people to watch. Do y'all know the average watch time of a video? 10 seconds. It's below 10. It's usually about 7, somewhere in that neighborhood. You can also see this on every one of your videos. If you go into Facebook, it'll tell you average watch time. And it's sometimes very discouraging. Right? I mean, you put all this effort into the video and you're sitting there like, oh gosh, they only watched 10 seconds? That was like the intro music, right? Like, what's going on here? But if you're going to do video, here's what Gabe and I found. Your titles matter. How you actually promote the video matters. What we're seeing is that when we put it on Facebook and we put it on YouTube, if it's native in Facebook, meaning you uploaded it directly in Facebook, you usually get absolutely no views on YouTube. Think of YouTube as like your web page, but the chances of anybody finding your video without promotion, slim to none. Literally, like no one's gonna find that video. What you have to do is you have to promote that video. You gotta put that video on Facebook. So we've been actually kind of experimenting with actually putting the video in Facebook. Then we've experimented with actually putting the YouTube link to where we force them to go to YouTube to see. And so we're going to be doing more research on that and tell you more about that. But picture and video is really, really important. All right, LinkedIn and Twitter, the forgotten ones. Here's what you need to know, and this is brand new information for LinkedIn, and hence why we're going to talk about it in the next session. 562 million users on LinkedIn. Okay? LinkedIn is your resume for the world. So important. LinkedIn now allows video. Thank goodness. I am killing it on LinkedIn videos. LinkedIn videos for Gabe and I has been a huge opportunity to get our material out to people. 44% of the users make $75K or more. Hello. Think about that. 44% are making 70. You think they can buy a house in Kerrville? 75K? That's pretty good salary, right? What if they're both making 75K? That's a nice house that they can purchase. So understand this is professionals. And hence why I have a whole class on it. I love it. There are 500 million tweets a day. 330 active monthly users, 30 million. You now have 280 characters to type. They give you more characters to actually say something. Now, what I say about LinkedIn, the reason why I put these two together is because LinkedIn can connect to Twitter. They can actually connect to each other. And it's seamless. It's easy to do. I'll show you how to do that in the next class. But these two now connect. So when I make a LinkedIn post, guess where it goes? It automatically goes to Twitter. And then I did the next level is I connected, and this is the next slide here, I connected my Twitter to my Facebook. So check this out. In one post, I can go from LinkedIn, Twitter to Facebook, one post. Is that efficient? Absolutely. Hey, social media is done for the day. Let's go sell some houses, right? Let's go tour some properties. You have all posts of everything covered. Now, this is going to be one piece of content. Keep that in mind because you're sharing one piece of content on all three platforms. And what if you did 2 to 3 posts like this? Is that okay? Sure, absolutely. Now, the other way to connect is I can go from Instagram and then I can go straight to Twitter and I can go straight to Facebook from Instagram. I can link them together. Now, the cool thing is because I've already linked my Twitter and my Facebook, I can eliminate directly. I can go straight from Instagram to Twitter, and what does Twitter do? Automatically kicks it to my Facebook. Okay? Super efficient. Now, there's a major drawback to this. Does anybody know the major drawback? There's one major drawback. The formatting is different. Right? So the way it's going to look is going to be a little different from what you originally posted. And some people are like, they don't like the look of it. They don't like that it's like a box, like a text box with like a little small picture. They want the big picture. So there are some drawbacks, but when it comes to efficiency, this is one of the best ways to go. Best ways to go in my book. All right, and we'll go into more detail in the next class. All right, next one. Oh, I love this. Love Linktree. So what did I tell you earlier? I told you that we were looking for something to put in our bio. Okay? So in my bio, if you go to Instagram, there's a little website and this pops up, right? So Live to Lead pops up, Book Tomas, all of these different things. Every Monday, Gabe and I make what we call Mindset Monday. And it's a way to set your mind for the week to kind of get some positivity, get some things going. We film it every single Monday, and then we put it out. I put it on Instagram. I put it on Facebook. We put it all over, right? Has anybody seen any of the Mindset Mondays? Okay, a few of you have seen them, right? So you could click this button and go see all of my Mindset Mondays. We also have a podcast. I started a podcast. Again, when you have millennials in the office, they're like, hey, we should start a podcast. And I'm like, cool, how do we do it? And we started doing research. Next thing you know, Gabe's like, okay, we need to buy all this stuff. And I go, wow, that's a lot of stuff. So we bought it all. We started. And now, do you think we made a lot of mistakes? Oh my gosh. Terrible mistake. We bought the wrong microphones. Completely wrong microphones. And then we're sitting there. Now we have 4 really, really nice microphones that don't really work with what we need to do. So then we had to go buy cheaper ones that work really, really well. So you live and learn. Here's the thing. The great thing about the technology that we have today is Fail Forward. One of my favorite John Maxwell books of all times. Fail Forward. Try it. Doesn't work. All right, back to the drawing board. All right, let me try it again. Fail forward. Oh gosh, that really didn't work. That was bad. All right, let's try this again. All right, here we go. We'll go again. And then little by little, we got better and better and better at it. And I do believe, like, it's called TM3 Impact. I feel like we've got a really good thing going with our podcast. Because what I do is I take these classes and then I will turn and make these classes into podcasts so that you can have the content in a different format. This is what the website looks like when you go to the website. And again, just so you understand, I want to show you this because a lot of people are like, well, where do I go? How do I see that? So right here inside my bio. So if I click on the bio, everybody sees my bio. This is where it shows like your little information and it shows all your posts. Right there, there's a little web page called Linktree. If I click that page, my Linktree, all of my buttons and web pages popped up. Now, so the internet here. How could we use this for realtors? One of your little pages could be what? Listings. Featured listings. What else?
Stats of your bio.
Statistics. I love that. That's really cool. Maybe it's videos that you've made. Someone was saying something back here?
Homes that have previews.
Oh, maybe it could be a home that you've looked at. It could be that, right? But the idea is you get a customizable page, and check this out. It's literally like you can completely adjust this and send it to wherever you want. You can send this literally to any web page that you want to send it to, and you get statistics. So I know how many times that has been clicked in my bio. That's great information. What if you have a new listing and in there it's like fabulous listing on the river, right? And you could share with your client, this has been clicked in my bio 40 times. That's a big deal. That's great information to share with your client, right? I have a client in Austin. He does 4 to 6 pages almost every issue. I mean, he does a lot of marketing. But we have a few of his big houses. One of them, we do Bitly links. Y'all know what Bitly is? Okay, so we do Bitly links. One of his Bitly links for one of his property had over 340 clicks. I mean, just think about that for a second. That's a really, really big deal to push 340, 350 people to a website by clicking a little link. Bitly links are trackable. So now if you're, and that may be something I need to add in here, for you here in this room, if you had the ability to track every time somebody clicked on one of your listings and you could track it and you could show your client, right? Knowledge is power, right? When you use it and you can actually show what's happening, knowledge is really important, and statistics are really, really important. All right, last but not least, let's set a goal. Set a goal. Now, what do I mean by this? The goal, what I mean by this is, number one, you need to set a goal for how much time you want to spend on social media and stick to it. Everybody knows that social media can be the scroll of death, right? We all know this, and we've all been trapped on the couch. You know, as my wife asked me, hey, and it's almost like we've become zombies, right? I felt it. I've been there, right? And you're just in this, like, you just, like a moth to the flame, and you just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And finally you snap out of it 45 minutes later. You've done nothing. You've accomplished nothing.
And you won't remember anything you just scrolled.
And you won't remember it. And usually it's because you're a creeper, right? Because you didn't like anything, right? So this is the deal. You need to set a time limit. One of the things that I would highly recommend is that you actually set a time limit for how long you're going to be on. Now, there are always those dead parts of the day where you're in the car, you're traveling from one thing to another, you're at an appointment, but you're waiting. There are those moments where you can do a quick post, quick thing, quick update. That's fine. But the idea of sitting and doing social media, set a time limit. Whatever that's going to be, set it and then go do the stuff that's going to really make the money, right? And then the other thing is you need to set a goal for how much money you're willing to spend, because this is the one thing I'll tell you about social media. If you're not willing to spend money, the results will be minimal. You have to spend. If you really, really, really and truly want to get some results out of social media, you're going to, now am I saying you got to spend $1,000 a month? No, it could be $10. It could be $5 on a post. It could be whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you can do, set your budget and just do that every month. If it's $50, listen, $50 is $50. that's still going to broaden your sphere wider than what it is right now. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Now, did you know now that on your business page, anybody that likes your stuff that's a boosted, that's not on your page, that's not a fan, you now can hit a button and invite them? They've actually made it automatic. So what I mean by that is if anybody has come to your page and liked something, you used to have to go to the like button and go down and invite every single one by hand to invite them to like the page, right? Now, it just tells you there are 45 people that have liked your stuff. Do you want to invite them to like your page? Yes, I do. Now they all are going to get an invitation to like your page. They've made that really easy. So if you're going to spend, set a budget and spend it. Now, if you're looking at me and you're like, Tomas, I don't even know I don't even know how to spend money on Facebook, right? I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know how to boost a post. Here's what I do. Do like I did. Find a millennial, right? Find somebody, right, that you can say, hey, I'll buy you lunch. Come with me over here. I'll buy you lunch. Will you show me how to do like a little boosting, how to do this, and then how to do the ads or what have you, right? But start out really small, and then like I like to do like, hey, look, I'm going to walk you through it, and then I want to watch you do it. I'll walk you through it, and then I want to watch you do it. Because what I think there's a certain, we get to a certain point in our computer knowledge and skills where we literally think we're going to break everything, right? We're like, oh, I'm going to break it. Oh, no, trust me, you're not going to break it. Once you know a couple of things here and there, you can always go back. You can always go back. All right, so I have an event coming up next Friday. This is truly one of my favorite things. It's Live to Lead. If you've never heard John Maxwell speak, trust me, it's unbelievable. And at some point, we need to bring this to Kerrville. And you let me know if we can get a room. I'll bring this to Kerrville. I have the video. This has already taken place, but this was a live simulcast in October, and I own the rights to the video, and I can show the video again. But if we have a group that we could fill a room and have some massive positive energy, Tyler Perry's one of the speakers, John, Matt, all of these people are speakers, and trust me, every year that I do this, people walk out with like instantly things that they could take back to their business. So if that's something you're interested in, if we can bring that up here, I'd love to do it. So now, everybody stand up real quick. Stand up. Stand up. So, everybody raise your right hand. All right, say, I promise to try to do one of these things. Okay, hands down. Now, here's the deal. You have, all of these are going to be emailed to you. I'm going to give you the slides. If you have any questions, feel free to just go to Instagram. Mine's real easy, the Tomas, Tomas. DM me, send me a direct message, and I'll walk you through anything that you need.